Today we're going to be taking a look at the Shogun Univ kit by iJoy. This does come with the Katana Tank on it, and this is their resin panel mod. Tell me that is not gorgeous. It does remind me of the Vape drag, except for it's not a drag on one side. It's actually got the panels equal on both sides. So I really like that. It does go up to 180 watts and it has power mode, temperature control, TCR, memory settings, as well as custom curves. And you know that I love custom curves. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at that. So let's go down, take a look at it, and then we'll come back up. We'll vape on it, and I'll give you my pros and cons. So here is the iJoy Shogun Univ kit with the Katana Tank by iJoy. Actually gonna get 2 extra boxes. This is gonna be your mod, this is gonna be your tank. This is actually the Katana Tank, and then this is gonna be the Shogun Univ mod. So before anything, let's go ahead and go over the tank. This is the box that it comes in. It does have that warning, but of course, since nothing is in it, it does not contain nicotine. On the back, you're gonna get some kit contents. It's gonna tell you what's included in it, and you open it up. And inside here, you're actually going to be getting your caution card. This is actually a wet wipe so that you can remove dust and sterilize it, which I think that's kind of neat. I've never really seen anything like that. And then you're going to get this baggie of extras. You've got a 510 drip tip adapter, which is always a pro for me. You're going to get some extra O-rings and gaskets and things like that. Then you're gonna get this extra glass. Now the one that's installed on the tank is actually the bubble glass. With the straight glass, it holds 4 mils of e-liquid. With the bubble glass, it's gonna hold 5.5. And then in addition to that, you're gonna get an extra coil. The one that's currently installed is a single mesh. This is actually a strip coil. So it is a strip mesh type coil. And this is what it looks like. You've got a lot of wicking on the sides. I really like that. I feel like it saturates the coils a lot more when you have more cotton showing. So I really like that. And this one here is iJoy. This is the DMM2. 0.15, good between 40 to 80 watts, and then that's the top. So you always want to prime up your coils before you use them. So the bottom of this tank is 28 millimeters in diameter. It is designed by iJoy. This is, again, the Katana Tank. I've actually got a Katana mod that I use all the time. I absolutely love it. And this is the Katana Tank. I think I've had one before in like a Christmas edition. The drip tip I absolutely love. It is one of those resin drip tips. It is 810 size, but it does have the O-ring, so it's not style compatible. It does have a little arrow here. This is actually going to tell you to go ahead and push it back so that you can fill it really easy. And then once it's filled, just push it back like this. Even though it doesn't have a lock, it does fit like it feels like it fits right in place, which is really nice. Then of course you've got these bottom triangular airflows, really wide airflows. Whatever you do to one side, it does happen to the other side, and it's got a really nice tension on it. To get into it, all you want to do is just screw it open. There we go, and then take it out. Now this is where you can actually take off the glass to clean it or switch it out if you'd like, but the rest of it is all one piece. So there you go there. And then we've got your extra coil. This is the one that is currently installed, and this is actually the KM1, you can tell right there. This is the single mesh coil that they have. It does say KM1 here. It does say 0.15, 40 to 80 watts. And by iJoy, and if you notice, it does have a min line. They do suggest trying not to go below that min line with your e-liquids, because when the cotton gets dried up, it actually burns out your coil faster. And being that this is a mesh coil, it heats up fast, so it's going to dry out just a little bit faster. Now, as always, whenever I recommend any type of coil, it doesn't matter if it's this coil or any other sub-ohm tank, whenever you're installing it, please make sure that you're threading it in correctly. What I always suggest doing is actually turning it backwards until it clicks into place. And once it clicks, there we go, then tighten it down. Even though you're screwing it in, sometimes you feel like it's screwed in right, but it's not. And that does cause about 90% of the leaking that I've actually helped people with their sub-ohm tanks, is usually that reason. So yeah, so there we go. And then of course, always prime up your coils. I'm actually going to be using this cookies and cream that I got in my vape tin box. If you haven't seen that review, take a look at it. It'll be in the end card. Absolutely love that subscription service. So to prime up your coil, what you're going to do is you're going to put some e-liquid, not flooding it, you're not filling it, you're just putting some on the cotton here. And then I like to put a drop on the cotton that I see on the sides of the coil. This just helps it prime up and get the cotton really saturated and ready for you to use. So I just do that to all those spots. And then of course I've got a little bit here. And then once you put this in and fill up the tank, then it's actually gonna wick up a lot faster, and then it's gonna prevent a lot of dry hits. And then find your arrow, push it back, and let's go ahead and fill this. Now, whenever you have a 100 ml bottle or a 120 ml bottle and it's hard to get it inside, a lot of times if you remove the drip tip, it makes a lot more room. Just a little pointer that I wanted to show. Now again, with this bubble glass, it does hold 5.5 mils of e-liquid. With the straight glass, it does hold 4 mils of e-liquid. But for me, I'm a bubble glass girl all day long. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and let this sit, which is what you wanna do if you get this kit brand new. Let it sit about 5 to 10 minutes just so that it saturates really, really nice. So here we are with the iJoy Shogun Univ mod. This is the box that it comes in. On the back, you're gonna get some kit contents and tells you what's included. You're also gonna get your scratch off authenticity inside the box where you actually get your mod. It will come in a variety of colors, but in this box, you're actually gonna get some extra favorite silica gel. Do not eat. Throw this out. Done. Okay, you're gonna get your iJoy warranty card. You're also gonna get this USB firmware upgrade cord. And the reason why I say firmware upgrade is even though it does have a USB port here, I do not recommend charging your batteries within a mod if your batteries come out. Always use an external charger. It actually prolongs the life of your batteries as well as your mod. Now this one is really, really nice. It's nice and braided. I really, really like the feel of this one. So I'm really happy about that. You're also going to be getting this iJoy little social media card. It's going to tell you about their website and things like that and what they do on their website, giveaways and things like that, and how to find them. And then last but not least, you're going to get your user manual. And this is actually going to be sort of like a pamphlet. It's almost like if you're going to build a shelf, that type of manual. Yeah, not very many pictures. I really like pictures a lot. But yeah, so that's your manual, but we're going to be going over it. One thing I do want to point out is that it does give you the warning on your batteries. You always want to make sure that you have no torn batteries. Your batteries have to be in tip-top shape to use them in any mod, whether it be regulated or otherwise. So let's go over the fun part, the mod. So this is the iJoy Shogun Univ kit. It does have a spring-loaded 510. It is centered. I absolutely love that. Sorry, I got some scratches on this already. And yeah, so by using it. And then you've got the dual resin panels. So on both sides, you will get resin panels. And I absolutely love that. I think that's absolutely awesome. On the bottom, it does say Shogun Univ mod designed by iJoy. And you have plenty of battery ventilation there. And then on the front, you're going to have your power button, you're going to have your up, and you're going to have your down, and then, of course, your USB port. Here's your OLED screen, and then to get to your batteries, you're just going to find the one that has this little door hinge on it and pull it off. Now, this is actually the resin panel. Look how nice this is. It does say Univ here, and it's got like the globe on it, behind it. I really like it. 2 magnets, which fit right here and right here, which you can't even see where it's actually going to be connected. Absolutely nice. I love the feel of this. The resin is real resin, and I do like that. And it fits in here in the bevel absolutely perfectly. So there is no rattle, no shaking, no movement. And then here, let me go ahead and take out my batteries. In here, you're actually going to have your plus and minus. They are kind of hard to see, like if it's in a darker area. I wish that it was actually a little bit like maybe a yellow or a white, but it does show your battery A, positive and negative, and then your battery B, negative, positive, and it does have the spring-loaded connections here. So let's go ahead and put the batteries back. I do have my Galices. Oh, and it does say QC pass, so it has been checked. So let's go ahead and put this in. Go ahead and put that one in, and then we'll put this one in. That easy. Yes, my favorite batteries. And then just put your door on. It fits, look at that. It fits absolutely perfect in there. There is literally no movement. I absolutely love how they fit that in there. On this side, you cannot change it. That would probably be like my only con. I wish that we could actually change out the resin panels. That would make this absolutely perfect. Now, if you do see some movement on the screen, it's actually not the mod itself. It's actually just my camera settings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns this off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns the mod back on. And on the top, you're actually going to see wattage. It's going to show you your vape strength, which is normal, your voltage, your ohms or resistance, your puff counter, as well as your battery A and battery B. To change your wattage, all you have to do is just press To change your wattage, all you have to do is just press your up or down, and it's actually going to scroll. It does scroll in 1 watt increments unless you press and hold it. I'm so used to pressing and holding that's what I do. And when you do that, it will go in 10 watt increments or a 1 watt increment, and it will go all the way up to 180 watts. Now, once you do reach 180 watts, it does not round robin, so you will have to actually go ahead and press your down button to move your wattage down manually. All right, so right here is your voltage. Your voltage is only going to show when you're firing the mod, being that I don't have an atomizer on there currently. It's not going to show right now. 1, 2, 3 is going to get you into the menu. You've got your power. You've also got your temperature control, your pod setting, your user or custom, your TCR, and then your settings. So let's go ahead and go into temperature control. In temperature control, you do have a choice between nickel, titanium, stainless steel, memory 1, memory 2, and then exit. Now in the temperature control settings, I'm going to go ahead and pick stainless steel just for the purpose of this review. Right here, it does show wattage. Here, it's going to show your Fahrenheit, and then it's going to show you the material that you're in, which is the stainless steel. Again, it's still going to show your resistance, your puff counter, your battery, A and B. Now to change your wattage in temperature control, you just press your up button. You have to make sure to press the up button. When you do, your W is going to start flashing, and then you can go up or down while it's flashing. And again, it will scroll just as fast doing the same thing. Press and hold it, and it does go up to the full 180 watts in temperature control. And there we go. Now, if you want to set it, you can go ahead and press your fire button and the W will stop, or you can just wait for it. To change your temperature, you press your down button. Once you do that, your F is going to start blinking, or your C, whichever one you're in. This is where you can actually change your temperature control settings, and you can go from Celsius to Fahrenheit really, really easily through the menu. Once you're done with that, just go ahead and press your fire button, or you can wait for the F to stop blinking. Okay, the next one we have is memory settings. This is actually where you can do the same thing, but it's going to be in your memory settings. So you can change your wattage, you can change your temperature. Okay, the next setting is actually going to be pod. This is actually a pod setting for, like, if you remember the iJoy Diamond and things like that had the pods on them like this. This is actually can be put on this, and you can use this setting. So say, for instance, that I actually want to use my iJoy pod, I can actually go ahead, and this is the VPC. I can go ahead and put this on and then choose my pod settings, and I can go ahead and vape it using this. So I think that's absolutely awesome, awesome, awesome. So it does go up to a 3.8 volts total, and it's basically in variable voltage. That's actually how you're going to be vaping it with the pods, is in variable voltage. And of course the voltage will show, or the volts will show when you're actually firing the mod. Back into the settings, the next one is one of my favorites. This is actually going to be your vape strength. You can do normal, hard, soft, or user. User is custom curve. That is one of my favorite settings on any mod. I absolutely love using custom curves, and this is actually perfect for me. So what you do is, it does have 6 different settings. You go ahead and pick the first one. You can go up or down, and if you notice, it's actually going to, right here, it's going to show you the change. See, it's 162, 140, 108. You can go down, you can go up, and then to switch to the next one, just press your fire button, and you can do the same thing. Go down, go up, things like that, and then just keep going. Once you get to exit, you're either going to press your up or down, and it'll actually get you out of that menu. So I absolutely love custom curve. I like it because it's an option that I can use. I like it that it's used in wattage versus just in temperature control. So I really, really like that. If you're used to something like that, or you like something like that, then that would be something that you would look into. The next one is going to be TCR settings. This is actually for those builders that like to do TCR settings and things like that. You've got TCR memory 1 and TCR memory 2, but in the book, it does not give you any of the TCR settings. So you do have to be knowledgeable about using this setting if you're going to be using it. And then all you do is you press your fire button to get to the next option. Once you get to exit, plus or minus, and it'll get you out of there. 3 clicks back into the menu, and then we've got set. To choose that, just hit your fire button. This is where you can actually reset your timer. All you would have to do is just press your power button, and it's going to go ahead and reset it there. And then to change your screen time, all you do is you press down and it'll go over here. I've currently got it on 90 seconds, but you can choose between 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, or 90 seconds. So I do like mine on 90 seconds, especially during the review times. 1, 2, 3 will get us back into the menu settings. There is nothing else, but I'm gonna just put it in power mode. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the tank on it. This is again, the Katana Tank that comes with it by iJoy. I'm gonna put this on it so that I can show you that actually it's gonna read the resistance and everything else on it. Now that I press the fire button, it does show the resistance here. If I fire it, it's gonna show your voltage right there, as I explained before. Again, you can change this from normal to soft or hard or even custom user. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for the iJoy Shogun kit with the Katana Tank. And yeah, so that's it. Let's go ahead and go on top and let's talk about it. Okay, so here we are back on top with the Shogun Univ kit with the Katana Tank by iJoy. Before anything, we've got to have a vape because that's the only way to start this, right? I've currently got this on 77.9 watts and I'm still vaping on the cookies and cream, and I'm absolutely loving this cookies and cream flavor because it actually tastes like cookies more than the cream, and I'm loving it. So yeah, so back to the mod. Okay, so as I mentioned before, we do have the resin panels on both sides. I absolutely love the bevel design that they did around the menu port and the front screen. Absolutely love it. I think that it gives it a little bit of pizzazz. Now these do come in a multitude of colors. They actually come with this changed as well as the resin. So you can get it like on rainbow. I think they have a bronze, a stainless steel, a black. So I really think that they're beautiful. I really wish that I got the rainbow, but I got this one, which I'm not hating because it is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so let me give you the measurements on this. So it is 88 millimeters tall, 55 millimeters wide, and 28.4 millimeters wide this way, or in depth. So let's go ahead and go over the pros. Pros, it goes up to 180 watts. Absolutely pro. Love it. Resin panels on both. I do like that. I absolutely think that they are beautiful, and there is literally no movement to the door, which is kind of strange because a lot of times with the resin panels, it doesn't matter who the manufacturer is. On the resin panels, a lot of times the door is just a little bit loose where the batteries go. In this case, the way that they actually set it inside the bevel right here where it sits inside of it and holds on, it has literally no play. It sits absolutely perfect. I really like that. I love feeling it in my hand and not worrying about the battery door moving. That drives me insane, but in this case, it doesn't. That leads me to my other pro. It's nice and rounded everywhere, so it fits really nice in your hand. You don't get any type of sharpness. It's not overly heavy. Even with 2 batteries in it, I don't feel that it's way too heavy. It's just got a really good boxy feel to it, even though it's a little bit rounded. So I really like that. Another pro, of course, is going to be the looks of it. It looks absolutely amazing. I love purples and blues, and this has them in it. So that's great. Gotta take a vape. Yum. Centered 510. I absolutely love that. And it does fit up to a 28 millimeter Addy. So I'm going to actually put it on a 28 millimeter because this is 25, just so I can show you. My God, that cookies and cream is good. That it has no overhang. It's literally no overhang at all. So I have the bulk on here and there's literally no overhang on either side. So if you like the bulk RTA, it'll fit perfectly on here if you're looking for a mod for this to fit. Now, these are sold, let me just go ahead and let you know, they are sold where you can actually get the kit with the tank, or you can actually purchase just the mod. So either way, you can actually find it that way as well. Going back into the pros, custom curve settings. For me, I absolutely love custom curve settings. I don't know what it is. This started about maybe a year and a half ago. I had a mod and it had custom curve and I started using it. I forget what company it was, but I started using the custom curve and I really liked it. I don't use it all the time, but there are times that I just feel like I want to use it depending on the atomizer that I have on it. And I love the fact that this is very user-friendly when using the custom curve setting. So that to me is a pro. Another pro is going to be that the menu is super, super easy. Very, very user-friendly. 3 clicks to get into the menu, choose your selection, and then it's got the sub menus, and up and down does everything for you. And then your fire button is just to select it. Also, the pod option. So if you do have one of those pods, such as like the iJoy VPC pod, you can actually use it with this because it does have a pod setting. Not any other mods that I'm aware of other than iJoy has those settings for the pod type of tanks. So I do give them props for that. I think that that's really, really innovative. It's very different, and it sets them apart from the rest, in my opinion. On to the cons about the mod, and we're talking about just the mod right now, and then we'll go into the tank. There's only a couple cons on the mod. The first one is going to be, for me, I feel like it scrolls a little bit too slow. I don't like that 0.1 increment. You can hold it down to go a little bit faster, but I just like the 0.1 increments. They kind of bother me a little bit. But I'm so used to holding down the button that it's not a huge bother, but I did want to mention it because I have noticed it a couple times when using it myself. So I figured that one of you would probably have that issue as well. But it's simple. It's simple to use. So I don't know, either way. The only other kind of bigger con for me is the fact that you cannot lock the keys. That to me is like a bigger con than the 0.1 increments, in my opinion. I absolutely love locking the keys because sometimes when I'm actually vaping, if my hand hits the buttons, I end up changing my wattage or, you know, wherever I'm at. It doesn't happen too often, but there have been times that happens. I like being able to lock the keys, not necessarily the whole device, but to lock the keys at least, and this does not do it. There is no lock function. The only way to lock it is to turn it completely off, and that to me is not a huge thing because I always turn it off anyway, but I would have liked the option to lock the keys. So that's pretty much it on the bottom, on the mod itself. And now onto the tank. The tank, I'm going to tell you straight off the bat, the flavor is amazing. This mesh coil, which is the KM1 mesh coil, absolutely love it. I did try the other one, but I really like the flavor on the KM1 just a little bit better. Absolutely great flavor, absolutely great airflow on this tank. I do like the fact that it does have top fill, but I wish it had a lock. That's just me on the top fills. I like the ones that you can either press a button and it'll lock down, or you can lift it up and move it. Some sort of a locking. This one I have not had any issues with it opening. Like I mentioned in the download portion, when I'm actually putting it back, it feels like it's locking into place, but it's not doing it. You know what I mean? It doesn't really have a lock per se. But that's the only real con that I have to this tank. Otherwise, 5.5 milliliters of e-liquid capacity, absolutely great for me. The airflow is really, really a lot. It's massive airflow. Now, it can be on a little bit of a louder side, but that's because it is a single coil. On the dual coil or the DM1 coil, it's not as loud because you've got a lot more stuff in it. So it's got the 2 coils in it. So it's taking up a lot more room than just having that one single coil with the hole down the middle. So it's going to be a lot less noisy. But for me, that doesn't bother me because I'm so used to tanks with the single coils or the single mesh coils and being a little bit louder that I really don't hear it anymore. But I have to actually listen to it just for you guys to let you know about it because it really does not bother me. When vaping it, I don't feel like it gives it that much of a loudness. It is sort of like, not really a tunnely. I've had other ones that are like, it sounds like, you know, this doesn't sound like that. You like that noise? I'm really good at my little prompts here. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I think the coils last a really, really long time. I've never had a problem with iJoy coils, to be honest with you. I do remember a Katana Tank. I think it was a Katana Tank that was actually in the Christmas edition that had everything. It had the mod, it had an RDA, it had a tank, and it had, I think, a pod, beginner pod system as well. Really, really nice. And I use that Katana mod all the time. So I'm really, really happy about the tank. I think they've done a lot of upgrades with it. When it first came out, it wasn't all that good, but they have upgraded it, and I think that it's working just absolutely fabulously. I think that it actually looks absolutely perfect. I love how they match the drip tip to the mod. That to me is a huge, huge pro because that is important. It is important to match your drip tip to your mod. I'm sorry, I've said it. That is very important. You have to have matchy-matchy going on, and in this case, they've done it, and I absolutely love it. The color schemes that they actually offer are absolutely beautiful. I think it caters to just about everybody. And again, it's got such a really, really nice feel to it. I don't have the mini to show you because they do have a smaller version of the Shogun, the junior size. I don't have that one to compare it to, but once I get that one, then I can compare and give you a comparison on this one versus the junior. I was sent this by iJoy for the purpose of this review. It does not change my opinion on it. I've actually wanted to review this because I've gotten a lot of requests for it, and I love it, and I really love it. I didn't think that I was gonna love it as much as I do. I know that I heard a lot of, talk about how good it is and everything, but having it in your hand and actually using it, it makes sense. The menu options I think are absolutely beautiful. Again, I love the custom curve. That is something that I use. For beginners, do not worry about that. For beginners watching my review, please don't worry about anything but the wattage mode or the power mode, because you really don't need to know those things, especially as a beginner. All you need to know is that it's got great flavor and it's very, very easy to navigate, and the up and down. That's pretty much it for you. Also, how to prime up your coils, things like that. So for those that are more intermediate, that's when you get into the memory settings and the TCR and the custom curves. So I don't want anybody to feel like, oh my God, there's so many settings I need to know. You don't need to know it. That's why this mod is just so great. It's absolutely perfect and user-friendly. So yeah, so that's my review on the iJoy Shogun Univ kit with the Katana Tank. If you like the review, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit the button. And don't forget the little bell notification, and I will see you on the next one.